Hey, brand builder, Rory Vaden here. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out this interview. As always, it's our honor to provide it to you for free. And wanted to let you know there's no big sales pitch or anything coming at the end. However, if you are someone who is looking to build and monetize your personal brand, we would love to talk to you and get to know you a little bit and hear about some of your dreams and visions and share with you a little bit about what we're up to see if we might be a fit. So if you're interested in a free strategy call with someone from our team, we would love to hear from you. You can do that at brandbuildersgroup.com/podcall, brandbuildersgroup.com/podcall. We hope to talk to you soon.
Wow. That conversation with Ed Mylett, man, I am humbled. I don't know if you picked it up, but what he said about working with us and our team, man, that was powerful and edifying for him to say those things about us. And, we really feel the same way about him. I mean, Ed, I have really gotten to know Ed. I mean, we have talked on, a daily basis, at least once a day for the last several months, like 4 or 5 months at the time of this recording. And I really love this guy and I believe in him. And that's part of why we have lent our time and our resources and our strategies to be a part of it. And what an amazing guy. And y'all, he is operating at a level of success that's just extraordinary. And I want to share with you, of course, the three big highlights or takeaways from the conversation, from that interview specifically. Some point, maybe I'll do another training that's just like what I've learned from Ed Mylett over the last several months, because I've learned a ton from him also. I'll keep this focused on just the interview. But one of the things that, I want to start with that is encouraging to me is it's encouraging to see people like, I think of Ed Mylett or, whoever, Dave Ramsey, like these huge, very successful, influential people, and to realize how much of their life has been dedicated to personal development, not just teaching, but learning. Not teaching, I mean learning it. I'm talking about the people you probably most respect. A huge portion of their time is personal development. Like, this stuff actually works. I mean, this stuff actually changes lives. And these people who are changing the world are living by the principles that we teach and talk about collectively in this industry. And that's why Brand Builders Group exists, is we want to help mission-driven messengers get their message out to the world, because the world needs it. The world is desperate for this help, for this encouragement, for this education about how to live a positive life, how to be successful, how to control your thoughts, your money, your time, to have better relationships, better health, have more joy and peace. And it's age-old principles, but they're delivered through new modern day messengers. And that's what Ed is. And that's what we believe you are. And that's why we believe that you're listening. And that's, it's super fun to work with people like Ed. I mean, I tell you, I don't remember what the number was when we recorded the podcast, but right now, as I'm recording this, we just hit 50,000 units pre-sold of Ed's book. 50,000. We still have a week before it launches. This is a massive. I mean, this is someone, literally affecting millions of people, all the people he's reaching through his own platform, plus all the people who are promoting it, this event that we're doing with Eric Thomas and Mel Robbins, Jim Quick, John Gordon, Marie Forleo, Dean Graziosi, Jenna Kutcher and Rob Deerdeck and Maria Menounos. I mean, the list goes on. Andy Frisella, like, it's going to be this huge event. It's reaching all these people, but I say all that to say he's a student of personal development, which tells me two things, and hopefully tells you two things. One, you should be a student of personal development, right? Like, you may not want to own multiple private jets and own islands like Ed does, but maybe you want to have money to give away. Like, you want to do something, right? Like, pretty much anything big in the world takes some money. Like, and impact and reach and go, man, I've reached a lot of people. Well, that means there's your student of personal development. The second thing is you should be a teacher of it because the world needs you. That's why you're here, right? That's why you're listening. There's a calling in your life. There's a prompting saying you've got some message inside of you. And if you're not doing it, my guess is it's because there's another voice, which I would call the devil, who immediately follows up and says, yeah, but someone already said that. But like, who would listen to you? Who would listen to Ed Mylett? 5 years ago, Ed Mylett was posting. Did you hear this story about Tony Robbins? He was posting videos of hash browns. Oh my gosh. That story of him with Tony Robbins on his back porch, he thought, Tony Robbins said you have to use hashtags. Ed thought he said hash browns. You have to post pictures of hash browns. Are you kidding me? Like, what in the world? Like, that is crazy. So, nobody knew who he was even like 5-7 years ago. So I don't know. That's inspiring to me. And inspiring to me in the fact that I hope it inspires you, and it inspires you to go, your voice matters. Like, somebody else out there needs it. It may not be millions of people. It may be 10 people. It may be one person, but like, that's a person. That's a life. So anyways, let's get on with the 3 highlights. I'm ranting because I just moved. Ed is a powerful dude. So my 3 biggest takeaways from the interview with Ed Mylett. All right. First one here is his premise of this book. All right. The book's called The Power of One More. The event's called Max Out Live. So we're helping run the book launch, the event. Ed's following our playbook. By the way, those of you that are brand builders, like I said this in the interview, but like, he is following our playbook to a T. He's executing it at a bigger scale because his platform, but I mean, he is following our playbook to a T. Is working. This is going to be one of the biggest book launches of this year. Like, it works. And his premise of this book is you're a lot closer to the dream life than you think you are. That's a powerful thought. You're a lot closer to the dream life than you think you are. Right? The devil, the self-doubt tells you you're far away, says this is impossible, says, okay, that could happen for Ed, but not for me. That could happen for Rory, but not for me. That could happen for Marie or whoever, but not for me. Like, and Ed's going, no, you're closer to it than you think. You're one decision away. You're one piece of knowledge away. You're one relationship away. AJ and I had this conversation, and I said, I don't know. This was several months ago, right when I first met Ed. And I said, babe, I don't know, but I feel God telling me that we're supposed to go all in on helping Ed Mylett. This is before he's a client. This is like right after I first met him, like before any of this is taking shape. And I don't, even by the time you hear this, like the trajectory that this is on is becoming a really massive thing that he's doing. Like, and going, I don't know, but I feel like we're supposed to go all in on this. It's very possible that this one relationship with Ed Mylett is going to change our whole life. It certainly did with Lewis, right? Like, Brand Builders Group would not exist if it were not for Lewis Howes. Lewis inspired this business. He asked for it. And then he's the one who said, you guys need to create this. I know a whole bunch of people who need this, and I'm going to help you meet them. I'm going to light the spark to kick this thing off. One relationship. Now you might go, I don't know a Lewis Howes or Ed Mylett. It doesn't every relationship we met, like every relationship we had led us to the next one and the next one and the next one. You're a lot closer to the dream life than you think you are. Like, it's right there. Right? One relationship away, one moment away, one big shot, one missing piece of the puzzle of the knowledge you need. And you go, it clicks, right? I'm there. It might be one video post, one podcast post, like, but we just don't know when it's going to happen. And people give up too soon. That's a powerful, powerful premise. And that's his whole thing. The power of one more is like, you're closer than you think. So do one more. Just like if you just keep doing that, it's in the moment, it feels like you're behind, but over the course of your life, it's like you're guaranteed. It's the success is guaranteed. Like, if you follow all these principles, it's not like they're not going to work. Like, they've worked, for millions and hundreds of millions of people to accumulate millions and billions of dollars. Like, the principles of success are timeless. They work they work. Like, there's a reason why people teach them. follow them and stick with it. Second big takeaway from Ed was that identity is the thermostat of your life. What you think you're worth is what you're going to get. So whatever the story is that you're telling yourself about yourself is going to continue to be the true story for you, right? If you're telling yourself, I'm a victim, I had it harder than everybody, other people have pushed me down, I'm not in control of my circumstances, I have it harder than everybody else. If that's the story you're telling yourself, then that is your certain future. Like, that's what he's saying there, is like, whatever is going on in your head, the story you're telling yourself. If you say like, I'm an overcomer, like I rise above, I figure it out, I find a way, then that is your future. Like, it's not just your present, that is your future. That is your identity, right? If you think I'm not good enough, nobody cares about me, I'm not smart enough, I'm stupid, I don't have what it takes, that's your future, not just your present, that's your future. And if you say, man, I'm loved, I'm a child of God, God creates, and so in me is the power to create, right? That God lives in me, he created the world, then I too have the power in me to create things with my own breath, to speak creation into reality. Then that's your future. So what is the story you're telling yourself about yourself? You'll never exceed your identity. You have to grow your identity. And I love how open that Ed is about Jesus. Not that, you have to believe in Jesus to be successful. There's lots of successful people who don't believe in Jesus. Ed happens to believe in Jesus. I happen to believe in Jesus. But what matters is even people who believe in Jesus, like what he was saying, is they go to church on Sunday and they go, yeah, I believe in God. And then they go out in the work week and go, I don't have what it takes. And it's like, no, like if you follow in scripture saying God is in you, right? Like the Holy Spirit is with you, inside of you. You have the ability to create, to make, to multiply. And Ed believes that. Like, he believes that about himself. What's funny is, like, whether it's true or not, it's true. Like, it became true. Like, whether it's true or not, it becomes true because it is the story that you're telling yourself. And if you stumble across success, if you happen to get your lucky break, you happen to get a big moment, but your identity is at odds with it, then you'll turn the air conditioner on in terms of your thermostat, and you'll start heating up and getting success, and you'll cool yourself off. You'll self-sabotage because that's your identity. Your identity will say, that was just luck, I didn't deserve that. That was lucky break, right? Couldn't do it again, right? Anybody could do it once, can't do it twice. Like, you'll self-sabotage. And that's why he's saying, like, you got to understand your identity. You got to rewrite your identity. You got to be mindful of the story you're telling yourself about yourself. That's what's going to change your life. And here's what's crazy is, like, whatever is your present story is your future story. But also, whatever is your present self is your past story. Like, in many ways, like, mostly. I mean, there are circumstances, right? There are some things that happen to people that are unavoidable. Like, I'm not suggesting that you're making every horrible thing that has happened in your life, but there is some truth to that, to go, who I am today is in part the result of the story I've been telling myself about who I have been in the past, and who I will become tomorrow is largely in part affected by the story I tell myself today about who I am today. And if you want to change your life, rewrite your story. If you want to change your life, rewrite your story. And then the third big takeaway from that conversation with Ed for me was just sort of the profound thought of, this idea of one more. Like, what if this is my last conversation? Right? Like, what if this is my last podcast? Like, what if this is the last podcast recap I ever do? What if this is tonight's the last date night I have with my wife? What if this is my last shot to introduce myself to somebody who, has the knowledge and the relationship to change my life? What if this is my last shot to learn from somebody? Like, What if this is my last shot? Like, what if this is it? What if this is my last day? Am I living with it going like, man, what if this is it? What if this is my last moment? Am I capitalizing? Am I maximizing it? Am I even appreciating in a small, minuscule percentage of how I would if it were my last? Because it could be our last. It could be my last. It could be your last. We don't know. And this idea, the power of one more, is going, look, I should be grateful because I got one more. I have one more day. I got one more breath. I got at least one more podcast episode in me. I got one more chance to meet somebody. I got one more opportunity to change somebody's life. And if there's a calling on your heart to go out and serve somebody and help them, it might be because there's at least one more person out there who still needs you. One more. And what if this is our last chance? We would view it differently. We would think about it differently. We would act differently. And we would be more grateful. I think I would be more grateful. I'd be more thankful. I'd be more precise. I'd be more deliberate. I'd be more intentional. I'd put more in. You can do that. You can do that. Sooner or later, that's going to be true. We don't know when. So you might as well enjoy the richness and the fullness of life that is available to you right now by treating everyone as if it's your last and just being grateful for the power of one more. So buy Ed's book. Everybody else is. It's going to be awesome. Spend time learning from this man. I am having the time of my life learning from him. I mean, it's like, reminds me of the early days when I was learning from Zig Ziglar, and like, man, this is an amazing person. This is a world changer. Like a lot of our clients, I feel that way about Lewis. I'm like, man, this guy's a world changer. Like that's powerful stuff. We have other clients, some of them we can't tell you who they are, but like, I'll go, man, they're amazing. And all of our clients, I go to our events. Every time I go to one of our brand builders group events, I'm like, gosh, you're amazing. You people are amazing. You have so much more working for you than I did. Like, you have so much more working for you than so many of the people that I have seen be successful in this industry, that I've seen impact millions of lives. Like, you have so much more going for you where you're at now than where they did when they were where you are. But the difference is just believing it and telling yourself the story that it's possible instead of telling yourself the story that it's not possible. So I hope that this podcast and that Brand Builders Group and that my life and AJ's life and our team and our family and our kids, I hope this is a place you continue to hang out in, because I hope we're a people who help you believe what's possible for you. I hope that everything you experience from us and our family and our team and our community helps you write the story that you were meant to write for your own life and thereby the lives of so many others. So keep coming back. We'll catch you next week on the Influential Personal Brand Podcast.